What's on guys, we're back with a brand new video and we're back with the AFL Redraft series. This is probably the most popular series going on the channel right now, and we are doing the 2001 Super Draft requested by the Isaac Show. So thank you so much for commenting on the videos, and anyone else that comments on the videos of any suggestions I should do for the redrafts, I will certainly do them. So any of your favourite players who got drafted and you want to see how I rank them, comment down below. Also, like up this video. Can we hit 20 likes on this video? I asked for 15 last time, we absolutely smashed it. So let's get this one to 20 or even 30. I don't know how crazy you guys are if you want to get to 30, but you can if you want. And subscribe with notifications on. So without further ado, let's get straight into the redraft. So at number 10, I've selected Brian Lake. Now, he was originally picked 71 and originally got drafted to the Western Bulldogs and ended up being one of the best backmen in the late 2000s, getting All-Australian honours in the 2009 and 10 season. And then at the end of 2012, he ended up getting traded to Hawthorn, where, not like he almost made a name for himself, but he ended up winning 3 premierships, and his most famous premiership was that when he shut down Matthew Pavlich in the 2013 premiership and ended up taking home the Norm Smith, which is pretty crazy to take home a best on ground medal in a grand final. So yeah, that's why I selected Brian Lake at number 10. So at number 9, I've gone with Luke Ball. Now, he was originally drafted at number 2 in this draft to the St Kilda Football Club, which went along with other players that they did draft in the past in this kind of time frame. So he ended up getting an All-Australian in the 2004 season, which was his only All-Australian in his career, but he was unlucky to miss out because he was an absolute star during the time that him playing AFL. He ended up losing in the 2009 Premiership to the Geelong Cats, and then moving to Collingwood in the 2010 season and ended up winning a flag against the Saints that drafted him. And then pretty much after that, he just retired in 2014. He was an absolute great player, winning multiple best and fairest over his time at the club, at both clubs that he was at. He was probably more successful team-wise at the Collingwood Football Club, but he was so good individually at the Saints. At number 8, I've gone with Nick Del Santo. Now, he was originally picked 13, and he was one of the best midfielders over the time that he did play in the AFL. I ended up coming second in the 2011 Best and Fairest, only getting a runner-up to Dane Swan. He was only an All-Australian 3 times, but his poise and kicking ability was just a highlight of his game. Almost like how kind of Scott Pendlebury does now, for anyone who didn't end up watching Nick Del Santo. But he did get pretty much like kicked out of St Kilda, you would have to say, because that's when St Kilda were entering their rebuild stage at the end of 2012. And ended up finishing his career at North Melbourne, picking up a few finals appearances, almost when that year that North Melbourne made it into the grand final in the 2014 prelim is what he played in. So yeah, that's why I've got Nick Del Santo at number 8. At number 7, I've gone for one of the most, probably funnest players to watch the time that I've watched AFL, which is Stevie J. He was originally picked 24 and ended up kicking a total of 452 goals from his 253 games he did play, and winning multiple goal leaders for the Geelong Cats, and even I think won at GWS, which was pretty good because that was his when he did end up going to GWS in the later part of his career, he was still a very impactful player. But he was an All-Australian 3 times, which is very impressive for the time period that he did play in and all the great teams he did play in to still star. Now at pick 6, I've gone with Jimmy Bartel. Now, he was originally pick 8 in the draft and ended up finishing his career as a 1-time Brownlow medalist, a 1-time Norm Smith medalist, winning 2 flags over his career, winning a Norm Smith in one of them in the 2011 one, and getting multiple All-Australian appearances, and finishing his career off at 305 games. At number 5, I've gone with Dane Swan. Now, I put him just above Jimmy Bartel, just for the fact that he was pick 58. He was an absolute steal in this draft, and he ended up winning a Brownlow medal like the man Jimmy Bartel did in the 2011 season, just nudging out Nick Del Santo. And that's the year that they became runner-up in the flag that year, but they did win it the year before the 2010 season. Now, his career did kind of come to a horrible end when he did end up getting injured at the very, very back part of the year. But who knows what could have done? He probably could still be playing now. I know he wouldn't have retired when he did, but now he's just known as Dustin Martin's best mate around the around the Las Vegas streets. So how times have changed. At number 4, I've gone with Sam Mitchell. Now this man's a bit more current, and he retired a couple of years ago, and he was originally drafted at pick 36. At pick 36, he did win a Brownlow medal the year that Joe Watson got stripped from it in the 2012 season, and he also won 4 premierships. That's right, 4 premierships. Not many people, I reckon, have ever even done that. Even got close to 4 grand final appearances. For this man to get 4 and end up getting 5 grand final appearances with multiple All-Australians, this showed how great this man was, and you don't understand his value unless you actually saw him play. And he did finish off his career at West Coast, almost like a leadership role to go into coaching. So yeah, that's why I've gone with Sam Mitchell at number 4. At number 3, I've gone with the original pick 1 from this draft, Luke Hodge. And if this was literally any other draft class apart from this one, he would be number 1 all day. He's one of the best finals players ever, winning 2 Norm Smith medals, only just getting beaten on the record by Dustin Martin this year. But his value through that 4 premierships, he's played for so long and at such a high level, only retiring in 2019 after he originally announced his retirement in 2017, but then ended up saying, nope, not hanging out the boots quite yet, and leading Brisbane Lions into a finals appearance in 2019, which no one would have thought how big his value coming into a team that just finished 18th on the ladder and taking them to a finals appearance, which was absolutely amazing. But that's what people know him as now. Not many people know prime Luke Hodge, how great the man was, how clean he was. He was just the leader of this team, and you can tell he's a leader when he leads his team to 4 premierships and winning 2 Norm Smiths in 2 of them. At number 2, I've gone with Chris Judd. Now, he was originally pick 3, and this man originally got drafted to the West Coast Eagles and ended up winning a flag and a Brownlow medal while at his time at West Coast. But then he ended up saying, no, I've had enough of West Coast, and after having a career best year decided he wanted to move his talents over to Carlton Football Club, where his hometown is, and wanted to move to his family, which is absolutely fair enough. And when he got there, he turned a team that wasn't looking too great at the time, had some young talent, into a team that made consistent finals. And also won a Brownlow medal, which not many people were probably expecting him to do there, but he won the Brownlow medal and ended up being almost, some people reckon he's one of the best players ever, and his agility was just ridiculous. He's burst away from the pack when he was an absolute star back in the day. And he originally, he ended up getting injury plagued, and I think he did his ACL, which forced him to retire in 2015, which I remember watching that game and thinking, oh, no way, this is not how his career should end after being an absolute superstar. But there's nothing more to say about this man. If you watch any type of Chris Judd, you understand how great this man is. At number 1, I've gone with Gary Ablett Jr. Now, he was originally picked 40, a father-son to one of the best players ever, Gary Ablett, and this man ended up finishing his career this year and easily probably being the best player in AFL history, or one of the best players in AFL history. And the way this man played, originally starting off his career as a small forward, moving into a midfielder, winning a Brownlow medal in 2009, as long as a flag in that year. He was just looking like his career was a set off greatness. Then ended up requesting a trade to the newly founded club, the Gold Coast Suns, and literally that's when he just proved that he was an absolute superstar. Never led him to a finals appearance when he was there, but the year that he won the Brownlow in 2013, he looked like no one could stop him. He was just great, he was kicking bags of 6, 8 and all this stuff while grabbing 50 touches. You're thinking, who can stop this man? Anything to ever stop Gold Coast from getting led to a final by this man was the fact that horrific shoulder injury that happened to him in the 2014 season, which ruined, I don't want to say ruined his career, but kind of took a few years off his career. Even though he ended up requesting a trade to Geelong at the end of 2017, and turned and just showed he never left, he never lost the pace. Even though he slowed down a bit, he was still such an absolute great player at his time at the Cats. Finished off his career, even getting a grand final appearance this year, even though he did break his shoulder during the grand final and end up retiring at the end of the game. No one can underestimate this man's value. So thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to drop a like on this video. Can we get 30 likes on this video? Hope so. Request down below what other draft slash can do, and comment down below your top 10, because I also love reading every single comment. I respond to every single one. And yeah, so that's the video, guys. We're on the road to 300 subscribers. We're very, very close right now to actually 250 subscribers, so we can hit that. That would be absolutely amazing. Loving the support, guys. So thanks for watching.